Hey my lovelies, my name is Jane and welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's been a while, I know, it's been a while. There's been a lot going on. So today we're going to kind of do a chit chat, get ready with me, tell you what's been going on and why I've been off of YouTube for a while. I think my last upload was end of November, beginning of December. So yeah, I got some new makeup to play with. So it's a case of I thought, you know what, while I've got some time today, I'd actually sit down and say hi. It's been a while, so I hope you're all doing well. Grab some snacks, grab a drink. I think this is going to be a long one today, so let's get cracking straight into it. As I'm chatting with you today, I'm going to chuck some things on my face. If I don't mention it, it will be linked down below as usual. So get us started. I'm going to go in with the Milani Bright Side primer. This is the one that's it's the illuminating primer with vitamin C. So I've used this one a few times now and I actually really like it. I'm quite fussy with my primer. I usually like more of a sticky base to it, you know, but this one's sort of just like this. So a nice one. So we're going to just chuck some of that one on there. So where have I been? I'm going to say I haven't done a chit chat get ready with me for about 3 months. So I think the last time I spoke to you, I'd been with that one, I'd been up to Cumbria to see my father-in-law who was very poorly. Well, we've had quite a lot of bad news, you know, since then. I mean, a lot of bad news, you know, more than the average person, which is sucks really, but it is what it is. So I think it was in the, is it the October or the September? I think we ran up country in the September. Well, in the October, my husband gets a phone call from his brother, who also lives up country, to say his mum had sadly passed away unexpectedly. She'd been in hospital, but not with anything life-threatening. So that was a bit of a shock to us. So, you know, absolutely devastated. Fortunately, we'd only seen her sort of, you know, about a month prior. So thank goodness we'd actually been up to see her. And then we get another phone call literally 2 weeks later in the November that his dad had sadly passed away. So that was expected, but still awful, absolutely awful, you know, because by this stage we hadn't had the funeral for his mum and then his dad passes away. So, you know, what the family ended up doing was a joint funeral, so which was horrific. You know, it's bad enough going to funeral with one person, but then sort of you know, 2 people, you know, a married couple especially. Well, certainly foundation pump doesn't want to work. Going in with a Body Collection Illuminating Foundation. This is a light to medium buildable coverage. And I've got the shade Ecru. So this one here, I'd heard so many good things about it that I saw it in my local Wilco's. So I thought, you know what? Let's see if we can, it's spitting everywhere. No, I think my pump's had it. So we're going to unscrew it and just slap it on my face. It's a little dark for me, but we can make it work. So, yeah, so obviously then, you know, he's back up country, you know, for this sort of joint funeral, which was just, like I said, just awful to have a joint funeral. But we were also saying that, you know, they would have loved it. As in the fact that they were together. That they'd had like this joint funeral, you know, because that they were a close couple. They were always together and did everything together. So, you know, they would have liked the fact that it'd been done together, you know, even though it was like really, really hard for the family and that. And I met a lot of my husband's family that I'd never met before. So, you know, so that was nice, you know, sort of meeting some of his family finally. But it's just always sucks when it's under sort of such bad circumstances. But as I say, you know, so obviously my motivation's not really there these days. It's like things just don't interest me at the moment. I'm just, you know, it's been a few months, but I don't know, like I say, it's just really hard when you've got sort of so much of it all at once. You know, your motivation goes. It's a case of, I don't know, things just don't interest me at the moment. Even makeup, I'm like, I look around and I'm like, oh, I just can't be bothered, you know. So which I'm sure a lot of you have been through sort of losses and that, so you would understand kind of where that's coming from. But we did have sort of something to look forward to in the December. I think I put a bit much on there, but hey ho. You know, we were going to see Westlife in the December, you know, on my husband's birthday, funny enough. But then the snow hit, and we don't get snow and ice in the UK, so we were in and ahhing, and then my mum was taken into hospital that same weekend. You know, she'd been sort of poorly on and off as well. But the funny thing is on that Saturday, so this was like prior to my husband's birthday, and the same day my mum got taken into hospital, it was our staff do, and we were going to see a pantomime at it's a place called Masquerade, which I've mentioned before that we were going, you know, for our staff do at Masquerade. Wow, because of the snow and the ice and the threat of snow, a lot of people lived sort of miles away, about, like I say, about 12, 13 miles away. So they all decided not to come. So it ended up just me and my sister going. There was a spare ticket, you know. My sort of boss said to me, you know, would your sister be interested in going? So it was a case of, you know, she's like, yeah, I'm up for that. So we, so she got the spare ticket, but it only ended up 2 of us out of, I think, 12 of us supposed to be going. There was just the 2 of us. On the upside, we got an upgrade, you know, we got moved to the front row, you know, because obviously we had 2 rows of chairs for like all us lot. For 2 of us. We were sat there and the bloke said to us, it's like, well, you know, that's a bit, you know, in case of is the rest of your party turning up. It's like, well, actually, no. So we sort of said, okay, you know, we got 2 seats at the front, come and move down here. And then I think what they done then was like move everybody forward. So, so yeah, so that was fun, but that was a good night. As I said, it was an over 18s, being a drag club and that. It was an over 18s sort of pantomime, and the pantomime was awesome. You know, we only made it in the nick of time because we had to be in by 7:30. Well, as I said, my mum got taken suddenly into hospital that same day, so my sister had to rush up to the hospital. She got a phone call because she's down as my mum's sort of next of kin. So she got this phone call, so she rushed up to the hospital. She kind of was half ready, so she just kind of threw everything on and raced up to the hospital to sort of, you know, be with mum while they settled her in, found out what was going on and all that. And we literally made it with 2 minutes to spare. I got in there, you know, explained the situation, and they were like, it's absolutely fine, you know. So they let us in, which was awesome. But it was a good night, you know, it really was. Obviously it was sort of dampened by the fact mother was in hospital. She'd been having a lot of chest infections and she was having trouble that day breathing, so they called the paramedics. Then obviously called the ambulance, sent her up to the hospital. So yeah, and like I said, we had all the snow and the ice that weekend, and it was just all going on, you know, which is everything that you wouldn't want. But like I said, we were supposed to be going up to Westlife on the Monday, which was my husband's birthday. But, you know, we talked about it with all this snow and ice. We were like, do you know what? You know, it's really dangerous. We're not used to it in the UK, so we're not prepared for snow or our vehicles. So we decided that we weren't going to go, you know, for safety reasons, because the concert was in Wales. Obviously, we're in the UK. So it was in Cardiff, which is about 2.5 hours away. So we didn't want to risk. They'd said on the weather that there was going to be sort of more snow and ice on the way. So we were like, do you know what? Let's just not go. Going in with the BPerfect Carnival, what's the Antidote palette. Got this for free. Story behind that. I'll tell you the story quickly. My husband asked me what I wanted for Christmas, and I said to him that I wanted is it the Ilias light? You know, the ring light and mirror and all that. You know, told him how much it was. He told me to get stuffed, and he's like, well, that's fine. It's the case I'll buy it myself, sort of, you know, this year. And then he said to me again about it, and I said, well, I only really want this light. So, you know, he went on, had a look at it, realised it was all singing, all dancing, all everything else. So we ordered it, and it came with a free palette, which is this one, and free makeup brushes from, oh, I can't remember the brand now. No, I can't remember the brand, it's gone. And so we got the parcel and that. And the only thing in there was the eyeshadow palette, the makeup brushes. And we were like, well, that's a bit odd because the box was huge. I mean, absolutely huge. And it turned out that for some reason they didn't have any. So they was going to give us our money back. But they sent me the free gifts anyway. So, you know, winner, chicken dinner. So let's go do this upside down because it's huge and it's got a huge mirror on it. So this is this one. Very, very pigmented. I have used it a few times. So we're going to sort of chuck a few of that on there. I did finally end up getting the Jeffree Star, what's it called, Psychedelic Circus palette. It came out about 4 weeks after it did in everywhere, well, we were on Jeffree's site. So I did order that one, but just not inspired by it. I have used it once, you know, so this palette's a lot of money, and it's like, I don't know, I think whether that's my state of mind, you know, 'cause it's a beautiful palette, but it's just, I look at it and I'm like, I don't know what to do. So, yeah, so getting back to, you know, making the decision on the Sunday that we weren't going to go. And so it's a case of, okay, we need to go up see what's going on with Mum anyway. So we went up there in the morning, spent some time with her. She wasn't good. We'd been told initially that they thought it was, I don't know what colours to go for. Yeah, we were told initially, you know, that they thought that she had pneumonia, sort of slight pneumonia, because of these chest infections and the trouble that she was had breathing. They sort of said, oh, you know, we think that she's got, you know, sort of pneumonia. And we're like, oh, that's not good, you know, because Mum was really frail at this stage. She was what, you know, she was 92, nearly, you know, 93. So, you know, we're like, well, we're not holding out much hope, you know, she doesn't look good whatsoever. And as it turned out, you know, the doctor called me and my sister into a separate room. Me, my sister and my daughter all went up there, you know, because we had a feeling it wasn't good. And so we all went up there and that, you know, and the doctor sort of pulled me and my sister out and sort of said, you know, that they've got the results of her lung x-ray, a chest x-ray back, that was it. And they sort of said, you know, that she has got this sort of slight pneumonia going on. But what she also had, which nobody knew, was lung cancer. And when I say lung cancer, I mean, they showed us the x-ray. They asked us if they want to see it. And we was like, yes. The whole of her, I think it was her left lung, was pure white. Like, pure white. It was just, I've never seen anything like that. You know, so that was a shock, to say the least, you know. And the doctor sort of said, you know, obviously we can treat it. And me and my sister just looked at each other and went, no. It's like, no, just make her comfortable. You know, she's a couple of months off of her 93rd birthday. You know, she's really not being well. This colour has gone on so beautifully. I just thought I'd do something fun today. I'm not actually going anywhere, so it's a case of we're just going to do something fun. But that went on so easily. So, like I said, we said, no, make her comfortable and that. And he sort of said, yeah, that's fair enough. And he said, look, he said, you know, she's probably only got a few days. And we're like, that's, you know, expected. It's just make her comfortable, you know. So that's what they did do. You know, she was on sort of small doses of morphine and that, just sort of any pain, because her chest was in a lot of pain. She had like one of those masks on her face for oxygen and that. And she hated it. She'd put it on for my sister, but anybody else she wouldn't put it on for. So the doctor literally said to us, like, she don't want it on, just leave her alone, you know, just leave her be. So we're like, yeah, that's good with us. We just don't want to be messing with her. So we stayed up the hospital for quite a while, you know, and then Mum was sleeping a lot. So we were like, do you know what, we're going to go home, have some dinner and all that. And then my daughter phoned me and she's like, oh, Mum, she's like, I just get this feeling, she said, that I've got to go back to the hospital. I said, well, do what you feel you've got to do. I said, you know, if someone's telling you to go back, go, you know. So I said, I think, you know, there's obviously a reason that someone keeps telling you this. I said, just go back. I said, you know, and give us a ring if anything happens, you know, or whatever. So it was a case of just before 10 o'clock at night, my daughter sort of then phones me. She'd gone up at about 5:30, sort of 6 o'clock by this stage. By the time she'd ummed and ahed. And we went up, and, you know, my daughter sort of, when she phoned me, she sort of said, like, you know, her breathing's not good. And she was very concerned because it had kind of changed. So we picked my sister up and we all went up there, and unfortunately she didn't last till the next day. So sorry, so we lost mum, let's say, in the December. So we'd lost mother-in-law October, father-in-law November, my mum in December. Hence I've been offline for a while. You know, it's a lot to process, a lot to go through, and it's just, like I say, the motivation to just do anything is just get up. I enjoyed going back to work, you know, because obviously when mum was poorly and that, before she passed, my boss had phoned me and sort of said, oh, anytime you can come in sort of early Wednesday, because I was on a few days off. And I sort of said, well, there's a good chance. I said, that won't be in for the rest of the week. So explain what was going on. So I said, like, you know, the minute I know anything, I'll phone you. So next day, obviously, you know, phoned her and sort of said, you know, mum's passed, I need the rest of the week off. Obviously arranging funerals and everything else. So yeah, so, you know, so I was kind of off then, and then we done the funeral first week in January, so I took some extra time off for that because there was still sort of, you know, bits to organise. But yeah, so we've had a rough time of it. We've really had a rough time of it, you know, hence I've not been doing YouTube tutorials and that, because it's just no motivation, just not interested at the moment. But today I thought it'd be nice just to sit down and do something. I need something to blend that out. I'm quite liking that. It's simple, colourful, but I'm quite liking that. These eyeshadows work so well. So well. So I think I'm just going to take a pale colour on a fluffy brush and just blend out those edges. Not do anything too major, to be fair, because I'm liking it. Strangely enough, I don't usually do greens. I actually like that. So yeah, but after all the funeral and that, you know, it was amazing to see sort of family members I haven't seen for ages. But we keep sort of saying it's a case of why, you know, do we only ever see each other at funerals? You know, which really sucks. Really sucks. But a lot of my family are all sort of scattered, you know, up and down the country. You know, so obviously that makes it a bit more difficult to get together. You know, one of my cousins, she stayed down here for a few days, so we were able the next day after the funeral to sort of, you know, me and my husband went out and we had lunch with them and that, so that was really nice. Just trying to find a shimmered. Oh, I like that. Look at that. That's nice. I think we might go for that, you know. That'll tie in quite nicely. So yeah, so we managed to have a proper catch up. But on mum's funeral, I'm not a drinker. I haven't been a drinker in years and years and years and years. I like an odd one at home, you know, so now and again. I'm a 2-girl limit, you know, been there, done that, not interested anymore. But oh my God, how I wasn't sick as a dog, because, you know, obviously we had the funeral, then we'd had the wake, and then we went back to my sister's, you know, sort of a bunch of us and that, you know, and just kind of carried on, you know, with some food and just being together as a family, really. I haven't drunk that much in, I reckoned, at least 8 years. And didn't get home till, I think it was gone midnight, you know, so I can barely remember, to be fair. But I'll tell you, somebody up there gave me a free pass. I was extremely tired, but I'm never up that late at night anyway. I mean, extremely tired. But I had a bit of an upset stomach, took a couple of tablets, settled that down, that was all good. But I'll tell you, somebody up there gave me a free pass. How I wasn't throwing my guts up. And I mean, I was on like Cointreau, and I'd been drinking black Sambuca shots, I'd been drinking gin. I should have been throwing my guts up, but I wasn't. And I do. Somebody up there gave me a free pass, I'll tell you. They really, really did. Which was, yeah, Yeah, he's like, I thank whoever for that. You know, I'm very, very grateful. You know, I was, like I say, just so tired. It got to the point we'd met my cousins for lunch and we'd eat. And I hadn't eaten as much as I normally would, which, you know, that's fair enough also. It got to about 2:45 and I'm like, I just turned to my husband and said, can I go home now, please? I said, I just need to go to sleep. So I said to him, I said, I'm actually going to go to bed for an hour. I said, set an alarm. I said, I just need a bit more sleep. So, you know, so that's what we did do. But to be fair, I was quite glad to get back to work. Some sort of normality. It was a case of, you know, and while all this was been going on with my mum, I'd caught this like flu virus thing. I was so poorly, so poorly, you know. So of course mum had just passed and then we were trying to arrange the funeral and that. Of course then got Christmas, New Year, so it just made things a whole lot more difficult than it would normally be, you know. So it was like, oh, and then, you know, I got this flu virus and I'm like so poorly. So, but I went back to work. So I'd had that initial week off and then I went back to work and I think you know, I felt really bad. Sort of Christmas Day, I felt really bad with being ill, you know, really rough. And it's a case of, oh God, I've got to go to work the next day. And I thought, well, there's no point phoning in sick no matter how ill I feel, because Boxing Day, nobody's going to do my shift. Of course they're not. You know, there's nobody that would have done my shift. So of course I went to work like a good little girl, like you do. Oh, even now I'm like, I don't know how I did that, you know. And then, like I said, you know, same with New Year. New Year's Eve, for some reason, I just felt worse and worse again. And I'm like, somebody just give me a break, you know, just give me a break. And I literally, New Year's Eve, I went to bed at about, what time did I go to bed? It was about 8 o'clock. I felt so poorly. And I thought, geez, I've got to go to work next day. You know, I thought I really, you know, see if I can sort of, you know, take some meds. I was living on cold and flu tablets just to try and just do life, basically. So I was living on cold and flu tablets. But I got up New Year's Day and I just still felt so ill. And again, it's like, well, nobody's going to do my shift. So, but I felt so ill to the point where I actually did a COVID test. I felt that ill. You know, I thought there's something really wrong going on here. So I thought, well, you know, I better do a COVID test, because obviously if it turns out I've got COVID, then I can't go to work and somebody will have to suck it up and do my shift, because obviously, you know, I'm that poorly. I've got all these symptoms. I can't go. As it turns out, I didn't. So I dragged my sorry little butt off to work. But again, I don't know how I got through it. I think you just do, don't you? You know, it's a case of, well, I've got to go, and that is that, basically. So, like I say, all the stuff that I'm using, I will be listing in the description box below. I'm trying to use things that I don't normally use, you know, just to kind of switch it up a bit. So yeah, so life's been a bit sucky of late, you know. So I've been off this week from work on a week's holiday. I've got a lot done, to be fair, which is quite nice. Done a lot of housework and stuff like that. So I have actually got quite a bit done. You know, more than I thought that I would. So, right, where are we going with bronzer today? We're going to go in with the Say bronzer. This one is in the shade Sun Melt. So, as you can see, it's got a fair dip in it at the moment. I do try and sort of go between all of them and sort of give them all some love. So let's just chuck a bit of that on there. Anyway, but yeah, but like I said, you know, once I finally, this illness, I tell you, it lasted and lasted. But then it would change. The symptoms would change and you just think you're starting to feel better. And then something else would hit. And it was, I'll tell you, evil. Then my poor sister got it. You know, she spent Christmas Day. We had a very quiet Christmas Day. It was literally me, my husband and my sister. You know, like I said, I wasn't very well. My sister had sort of come down with a sore throat by this point as well. You know, and then obviously she ended up with it full blown. My husband only got it very, very mild. Very, very mild. You know, I'll tell you, he got lucky. I took that boy. I said to him, you don't want this. I said, it is a killer. I said it really is absolutely awful. I can't remember being that ill in the longest time. But like I said, I was still going to work, still trying to arrange a funeral. You know, I say me and my sister and my daughter, we all sort of was helping with a funeral, you know, because it was really on my sister to do it. She was the executor of the will and all that, and Mum wanted her to sort it all. So obviously we weren't going to let her do it all on her own. Why isn't that looking? That just doesn't seem to be blending as well as it does. So lovely. So yeah, so we all helped out, and like I said, you know, once she got sick and that as well, it was a case of, you know, she needed the help too. So but yeah, for some reason, because you know my daughter spent a lot of time with me and my sister when we were poorly, she missed it completely. Her partner got it. She was quite poorly with it as well, which was unfortunate, which was strange because we haven't seen much of her, you know, but for some reason Heather got lucky and she missed the lot. So yeah, so a lot been going on, but it was nice to get back to work. I think just getting back to some sort of normality. It was a case of once I was back to work, it was almost like, obviously you grieve for, you know, however long, indefinitely, everybody's different, but you know, I'm like, draw a line, get back to work and just, you know, try and concentrate on other things really, as hard as it is. But like I said, you know, I still haven't got the motivation or the interest, and it's like everything's just like effort, just effort, you know. I think that's why, like, when I'm at work, it's a case of I go to work, I know what I'm doing, I get on with it. It keeps me distracted, which is wonderful. So what are we using for blush today? Right, we've got green and sort of peachy colours on. It's sort of a pinky peach sweatshirt today. So I'm wondering, yeah, this is the e.l.f. putty blush in the shade where it's on the box and not on it, but I'm sure you'll recognise it when you see it. So there's good things and bad things about this one. The bad thing is it's quite a hard formula, and I find it, I have to really wriggle to get anything out, and the pot's too small. But apart from that, it is quite nice. So what I've been doing lately is literally getting it on my finger, just kind of trying to warm it up a little. And I think with the smaller pot, that does work a bit better. You know, but I'm not really one for using my fingers on makeup. How's that looking? Oh, that's all right. You know, but like I said, with this one, I do feel that I can make it work better by not trying to swirl a brush in it. And like I say, the pot is sort of better for your little fingers. Just a little bit more. Just a little bit more. More is more. But yes, I'm just wondering sort of what else I've been up to, really. I say, anybody that knows that watches me on the regular or semi-regular knows that Saturday's family day. Obviously, you know, with Mum's passing and that, you know, now on every other Saturday it's just me and my sister, and that's a bit weird. So that is a bit weird, you know. But then the Saturdays in between, I see my daughter and granddaughter, which is absolutely lovely. But last Saturday we had kind of like a big family thing at my daughter's, where my eldest daughter, yeah, I got two daughters, not many people know that about me. It's not a secret, it's just it doesn't seem to come up in conversation either. She came over because just after my mum died, she had a little boy, and I wanted to go up and see them sort of after work. You know, my sister picked me up, then we had to go to the funeral home, drop some bits off, and it's a case of, well, on the way home she'd throw me out the hospital, and you know, it'd be lovely to go and see my daughter because she'd had to have emergency surgery after she had the baby, and a whole lot of complications there. And you know, obviously I was very concerned about her and wanted to go and see her for myself and just make sure she was all right, basically. Well, of course, that was the day I came down with this illness, so I'm like, I can't go anywhere near the hospital. You know, my daughter was in ICU, my grandbaby was in like the skaboo, the baby one as well, and I'm like, I can't go anywhere near them. So I was absolutely devastated that I couldn't go and see either of them. So, you know, so I messaged her and sort of said, you know, I was hoping to come up and all that. And I was gutted. So when she found out I was going over to my other daughters, she came over so that I could meet my little grandson. He's only 4 weeks old. I'll be 5 weeks old now. But oh my God, it was so, so nice. I just did that, didn't I? Gotta watch me, I tell you. Gotta watch me. Taken to using a powder puff. I really like the way that it makes my skin look. So yeah, I watch too much TikTok. I think that's the trouble. And I'm like, oh, I'll try that. You know, so when I've got time, I do like to watch a bit of TikTok. I've got a few TikToks up, but I'm not brilliant at them. I'm not brilliant at anything, to be fair. You know, I just muddle my way through my YouTube. Learn anything else. You know, but I was hoping this year to do, you know, sort of more of that. But again, it's this motivation with, like I said, you know, with all the family deaths and that, I'm just not interested. Not interested in most things. You know, I kind of, when I got days off, I have to make myself do things. And it's a case of, well, this needs doing, that needs doing. It's like, oh, I can't be bothered. I know, but then I don't want to feel like I've wasted the days either. So, like I said, I have done quite a bit. So this is the Huda Beauty powder that I'm using in, I think it's pound cake. But again, it'll all be listed down below. But I just like the way that using the sponge makes my skin look. Yeah, see, that's looking nice. That's looking nice. Let's just chuck some powder down, settle that. Really funny, when you're not going anywhere, you actually like your eye makeup. Does anybody else get that? You know, if you're doing it, you're not really going anywhere, it turns out perfect. And then, you know, it's like me when I'm getting ready for work and I'll sort of do the same colours and that, and it looks like pants. But let's get rid of that one. Okay, yeah, so like I say, so that was awesome having family, you know. And then it's a case of, I haven't had a photograph with my two girls in about 3 years, so it's like, right, photo shoot. You know, I'd done my makeup and all that because I knew I wanted pictures. So the girls are complaining, it's like, oh well, you know, we haven't got makeup on. It's like, I really don't care. It's like, you know, I'm good to go. I just want the photograph. So, but we also done one with me with the grandchildren. So, you know, there was what my eldest daughter has got, she brought over her two, and then my youngest daughter with hers as well. So there's like a picture of me now with my like 3 grandchildren as well, which is absolutely lovely. So yeah, so that was, I had the best time. I really did have the best time with that. And then we bought some more new furniture, so that was nice as well. What Braille pencil am I looking for? So yeah, we I wanted some recliner armchairs. Our furniture is absolutely a disaster. You know, the cats have trashed it. We've now got cat protective sticky tape over so many surfaces on our sofa. Every time they find a new bit to scratch, I get the tape out now and just stick it on there. It's like, you're doing my head in. You know, with new furniture coming, it's a case of no, just no. But the plan is I'm going to get some throws and cover them so that they can't hopefully destroy it. But I wanted some recliner armchairs because the cats don't let me and my husband sit together on the settee anyway. There's usually me one end, him the other end, and the cats are in the middle. And then we've got like one on each lap as well as. So it's a case that's going to throw them when they can't sit in the middle. But, you know, some nice recliner armchairs. Just be comfortable. You know, because I have this like it's a leg rest that I got on Amazon because I've been diagnosed on my foot with plantar fasciitis, which is like a lot of heel pain. And I bought it because I get to the point where I cannot physically sit with my foot on the floor. When I get home from work, I'm in so much pain. So I was doing some research on it. This was probably back in September. And they sort of said about, you know, putting, you know, your legs up and that. I'm going to go light on the eyebrows because I had them tinted yesterday. So I bought this like leg rest thing. And I tell you, oh, flipping godsend, this leg rest thing. Don't think my eyebrows are very even. That's about normal. So with the recliners, obviously that's going to take away that, because I'm just going to have like built-in leg rests anyway. So, and that was the eyebrow pencil by Soda. I bought that back along. It was on sale, and always on the hunt for a different eyebrow pencil. And it's really nice, actually. I do like that one. So yeah, so we've got these coming. When have we got them coming? End of April, beginning of May, because they're all hand sort of made to order, which is really nice. So we went and ordered them last Sunday, put a deposit down. So my husband's going to go in this Sunday and pay the rest off, because I don't like things hanging around. It's a case of, you know, the money's there for just go and pay for it, just get rid of it. Much rather just get rid of it. You know, they do all this like 4 years interest-free credit and all that. It's like, no, have me money. Not so good at, like I say, not so good at having debts hanging around. I'd rather have them paid off. And like I say, then when they turn up, they're just ours. I'm just going to match that up underneath, chuck some eyeshadow under there. And like I say, these Stacey Marie palettes and BPerfect are just beautiful quality eyeshadows. I'd never used any before. So, but I was very grateful that, you know, they sent them to keep anyway. I think it was more of a sorry gift, but I was devastated that you know, because I still haven't got my mirror, my light mirror. So we're going to try again this year to order it, you know, and hopefully we'll be able to get it. But it didn't say on the website, because I use Beauty Bay, because it's the only place in the UK we could get it. But it didn't say on the website that it was out of stock like it normally would. So of course, you know, we just ordered it. And, you know, disappointed that I couldn't get it. But c'est la vie. Let's blend that out a bit. I'm definitely going to wear these colours again. I really like them. I really like them. What colour, what green did I use? I think I used that one. So just going to darken up that outer corner. Well, I hope everybody's having sort of a, you know, a good new year. I know we're into February now, so I'm very, very late to the party. You know, initially I had all sorts planned, but like I said, it's yeah, just wasn't happening, you know. But that's just life. Sometimes you've got to roll with the punches and do the best, make the best of what you've got. And you know, I'm just lucky that, you know, we had family around and that. So, you know, and I think family's important, very important, and I'm sure a lot of you think the same. Chuck on some eyeliner. What have we got? I haven't got anything new in the eyeliner range. I did lose one of my eyeliners though at my mum's funeral, so I was a bit like, ugh. So we're going grey or brown today. Grey. I think the grey one. And the Catrice one. So I think that will blend in quite nicely with the green anyway. Okay, so for mascara. It came into work a little while ago. The minute I saw it, it's a case of, we haven't updated the cosmetics, but it's a case of, well, I'm buying it anyway. And I've seen quite a lot of reviews on it, but I bought it before I'd even seen the reviews on it. I got it quite quickly, funny enough. And it's the new e.l.f. Lash and Roll Mascara, which, as we all know, is a dupe for the Benefit Roller Lash. Like I say, the one's the same. I've been through several bottles of the Benefit Roller Lash, so I know what that's like and what it performs like. I really like this. Spoiler alert, but I really like this. So we've got the same type, like I say, as you can see, the same type of wand as the Benefit Roller Lash. It is a dry formula. So what I tend to do is go in with that shorter side first and sort of put all that one on, like I say, brush that one through first. But I think it really is comparable to the Benefit Roller Lash. You know, this is one that I've been using time and time again, because I probably got it, I don't know, 2 or 3 weeks ago maybe. But that's just one coat with that bottom one. So now I'm going to flip it and just run through it. Look at that. And like I say, I've got very sparse lashes, as we know. But look at that. That's just one coat. Just one coat. So let's chuck some on the other one. That's what we got with, like I said, one coat. Look at that. I love this stuff. I'll tell you, I love this stuff. £6 in the UK. Absolutely love this stuff. Let's go back in for another coat. Oh yeah, I think it's one of the best drugstore mascaras I have ever used. This and the L'Oreal Telescopic, which I finally picked up a new one of. But do you know what? I've been choosing this one over the L'Oreal Telescopic, and that speaks volumes. I really, really love this one, and it's half the price of the L'Oreal Telescopic. So I think the Telescopic comes in at £11.99, comparable to £6. Look at that. I'll tell you, if you only buy one thing, you know, this month, get this. It is so good. So good. And to me, it does perform like the roller lash. It really does. But a fraction of the price. So I plan this year on trying more drugstore makeup. Look at that. Look. I love it. I love it, love it, love it. I'll chuck a little bit on my bottom lashes. I have got another mascara dupe that I bought, but I want to use that one in another video. Let's just get some of this on there. So a bit lighter handed on the bottom lashes, but even then, even with a light hand, it really, I don't know whether you can see, it really elongates even my bottom lashes. Look at that. Tell you, this is a little freaking gem, I'll tell you. Little gem. Oh my god, chuffed as nuts with this one. Okay, we're missing highlighter, guys. Could have told me I'd forgot my highlighter. That was just mean. Right, so let's go and find one. Tell you what I've been re-loving lately, and I thought I'd use it again today, is the Benefit Cookie Highlighter. As you can see, there is a considerable dent in that one, but it's been sat in the drawer, and I'm like, you look at it and you think, and then I rediscovered it a little while ago, and I tell you, I'm like, why did I ever stop using it? Look. So I'm trying not to go too heavy-handed. Look at that. But I'm like, why did I ever stop using this one? Why? Let's even it out a bit. Want a bit more ham on that side, but look at the glow. She's beautiful. There you go. I've just hit pan now. As I said, I used it to death and then I stopped using it. And I'm like, well, why? So I brought it back out the other day because it's a case of, oh, why aren't I using you? Yeah, good question. Why aren't I using you? Well, a bit more. More is more. Why not? Let's go to the heavens today. So I'm not going anywhere. Nobody cares. But yeah, I tell you, oldie but a goodie. Put some under my brow bone. She is so pretty. So pretty. So I've got rid of a lot of my makeup recently, and I mean a lot. I did take a big bag of it up to one of my daughters last Saturday. You know, it's a case of, well, she loves her makeup, you know, and I'd sorted it all out, and I'm like, it just sort of sat there, and I thought, do you know what, she'll love that. I do try and have a clear out quite often. Let's put a little bit more down my nose because I just feel like it today. Just feel like glowing. Absolutely glowing. So right, let's get this foundation off my lips. Then we're going to go in with the Essence Long Stay Waterproof Lip Liner. This is in the shade, where's the shade? 02 Just Perfect. So I'm going to chuck a bit of this one on. I'll just literally chuck that one all over my lips because I'm going to go in with a lip gloss. That'll just still be there then. So we're going to go in with the Jeffree Star Supreme Gloss in, ooh, what's that one called? Mannequin, which is this one here. Fancy the gloss today. Why not? Change it up a bit. Actually, it goes really well with that lip liner. I was hoping it would. And last but not least, setting spray. Bought the e.l.f. one recently. I did have the blue light one, used that one up, and I thought, do you know what, I'm going to try another one from e.l.f. because I'm very happy with them. So this one's the Stay All Night Micro Fine Setting Mist, so which is the greeny coloured one. So give that a shake. And there's today's finished look. Let's bring you in a bit closer. As you can see, I finally have my hair coloured as well. Finally. And I'm loving it. Absolutely loving the colour of my hair. We even put a few blonde bits behind this time. So, bit of a side note there, but hey ho. So yeah, this is the finished look today. Like I said, I'm really pleased how it came out. I absolutely love the eye colour. So definitely will be doing this one again. So yeah, so like I said, I know it was a long one and I'm really sorry, but there's been a lot going on and I just thought it'd be nice to catch you up before I get back in the swing of doing videos for you guys, you know. But I have missed you all. I hope you've missed me, and if you haven't, that's fine too. But thank you for watching. If you like this kind of content, please subscribe. I will be, you know, more than happy to have you. I'm slowly getting my numbers up. You know, I'm a very small channel, so every subscriber I get, I appreciate each and every one of you. You have no idea. It does mean a lot to me. So hopefully I will see you all on the next one.